Body's comfortable, body's breathing, huge inhales. Yeah, that beautiful long exhale. So as we're heading into our class today, the idea for today is just to have fun. Oftentimes we put so much stress on ourselves about our goals. We try so hard to, to become stronger, to become better, to become faster. We want to achieve, a certain, let's say monetary goal for the year, certain, there's so many goals that we put on ourselves. And goals are amazing because it's what keeps us out of being average and just doing the easy path. But sometimes when we are goal oriented, we just put so much on us all the time that we kind of forget to have fun, forget to just be playful and just listen to our bodies and just, be in the present moment. So that's what our class is all about today. Just whatever we do, these good stretches, these good movements, everything, let's just have fun. Let's help our body out. If things intuitively seem like they would feel awesome to you, go ahead and try them out. Become my commission. Oftentimes it's those little arm positions that we take when we're in inversions that make all the difference. It's like, wow, that feels so amazing. So those are those types of things that we're trying to play with and find today. So lots of playful attitude, lots of just being with our body. So that idea to lead us, kick us off. Let's begin. Our right knee comes into the chest. You could do little ankle rolls, or you could just pull it in tight for that hip flexor. It's up to you. Another good breath or two. Inhales. Nice exhale. Straighten this right leg up to the sky. Start to tune into that part of the leg. How can you shift around in ways that feel super helpful? What can we grab onto? And how does that feel? Take another huge inhale. And exhale. Let's hook this heel onto the back left side. Setting up like a pigeon pose. Slide the shin in. Get that first hip opener of the day. It's that first chance to tune in. Oftentimes, if we've just had a busy day, like this first stretch is kind of the first chance to really be, okay, how is my hip doing today? I haven't really been with it today. It's carried me, but I kind of ignored it. So this is that first chance just to try to breathe, try to be with it, notice what's going on. Another ginormous inhale. Exhale, free the leg out. I like to give it another little bonus stretch up to the sky before I drop it down. When you're ready for second time, left knee in, give it that hug. Maybe some cool rolls for a moment. Ready, like go up to sky. A ginormous inhale. And exhale, let's tune into this hip. Up the heel, slide the shin in. With our body, being with our breath. Take one more ginormous inhale. And exhale, free out the leg. drop it down. And again, let's take a nice little back bend, noticing how the spine is. So maybe at first leave the legs in, hands grab onto the back end, press to sit up, fabric starts to fall down toward our waist. I like to hook on with my thumbs for a second so that I can kind of push it down to my hips. And if you leave it higher up to shoulders, that also feels good. And slide down the fabric. Take a little back bend. This is kind of like version 1. So it makes me feel a little like a mermaid. If you want to try to kick the feet off the front end so the legs are dangling down at the knees, that's okay too. If I do that version, sometimes I grab onto the feet. So just be playful. For different people, back bends either feel amazing or sometimes it feels really intense. So don't feel like this first inversion has to be the biggest thing of the day. So just kind of enjoy it until your spine is done. If anybody wants to flip from the bow pose, which is that deep back bend, into our diaper wrap inversion, just grab back on, wrap the legs, and head all the way upside down. Huge chance for us to check in with the spine, especially letting us feel that relationship with gravity. What is going on? Presence. If you ever come up before others, feel free to take little bonus stretches. Sometimes it's twist. Sometimes it's just that nice forward fold, helping the spine get a good balance. It could be neck stretches, shoulder stretches. You've got options. We'll give those that are in inversions a little bit more time. So I've got about half the class upside down. So those that are still upside down, keep on enjoying it. Those that have been you've been up for a while, you're ready for another little stretch, just bunch up the fabric to the front door and let your spine take a little stretch. Armlets to the back wall opens or circles around the back. The twist to one side, go ahead and switch directions. A good inhale. And exhale. Returning forward. If you just popped up, feel free to just rest. Floating child for a moment. Those that have still been up for a little while, let's take our hands around the ball of the right foot. Leaning back a hair, try to keep this right leg up to the sky. Another chance to try to just work on that leg. Try to straighten it. Notice what it's capable of doing right here. Good. Leg drops down. Second leg in that same stretch. Clasp around fellow foot. You can always slide it further down to calf if you need. Just see how much that leg is willing to straighten out. Usually for me, it doesn't immediately go straight. If I kind of play with it for a moment, it's like the hamstrings are saying, oh yeah, I guess I'm willing to do that. I guess you're not gonna hurt me. Good. A nice inhale. Exhale, drop this leg down. Take a couple of nice stretches deeper inside the fabric. So you're gonna bunch up the fabric to the side that faces you to the center of the room so you can really see what's going on. Lock your arms straight. That leg that just got lifted, that's the leg that we swing up and over. Take both feet inside. Good. So you kind of learn over time. There's a way to get into it that has a lot of swinging, and there's more of a like slow motion core way that has less. But that's okay. The swinging you can kind of like push the arms out to help it out, help it stop. So engage your core, try to get the spine as straight as possible. Arms push out into the fabric, that helps the inner thigh stretch. And 3 times, let's keep the arms activated, pushing out, but the legs are stronger, so the legs start to squeeze together. The arms are what creates that good resistance. Right, nice and slow motion. Whenever you touch, take a nice break with the legs, the arms push us back in. Good, let's squeeze, very slow. Creating our own resistance with that arm strength. Good, open up wide. And one more time, start to squeeze. Beautiful, nice and wide. So right hand slides down right leg, left hand circles up and over. So everything's going to the right side. Make sure the left leg's not lazy, it's still trying to splay open. Good, rising up, switch it out. Left hand down left leg, right hand over. Yeah. And rising up, I recommend getting the toes covered so that you're kind of in the center. If you're super off balance, do this little trick. Get your feet at least in the right spot, and then grip up high. Lift up your hips for a second, and when you re-straighten your legs out, it'll reset you so you're pretty even. Also, note to self, if you're grabbing too much fabric or too little fabric, that'll also affect how much in the center you get. So we try over time to get toward the center first try when you get in the hammock. So anyways, we're gonna do a nice cobbler's pose, a nice pigeon pose toward the mirror. So the leg that's closer to the mirror, bend that leg, the heel slides into the pelvis area. And then both shoulders start to free themselves out so you can kind of peek out the mirror side. Grip up high, left and right. This is high enough that we can lift our hips up, just point the back leg around. Good. If you keep both shoulders in, this is king pigeon. That's a deep back bend. If you free out the shoulder that's over the toes, that can keep it like a seatbelt over your body, leaning forward, making it nice and easy, very safe. You could choose to get both shoulders out, it's up to you. I kind of like this little pressure. Like as I lean forward into the hammock across that shoulder, it gives me just a little bit of a massage, so I can kind of push my way into that. You don't have to take that if you don't like. Yep, so the leg that's toward the mirror, bend it. Yep, just like that. And then get both hands off to the mirror side. Yep, grab up high on each left and right side so you can swing the leg around. You got it. Beautiful. Breaths in and out. Another good cycle all the way in. Exhale. Let's head to a hamstring stretch. So walk the hands back up to their spots, left and right. Once we're there, the back knee is going to slide under our hips. We're rising up higher. Once we're here, you've got two options. So you can either just straighten the front leg and slide down. This would be more of a full split action. Or you have to kind of shimmy your hips past the spot that gets stuck. But you could also sit on the back foot and then just reach the hands forward. This is more of like a piston pose. Okay, so Shivam, you're close to the piston one. Try to get back up for a moment. And then straighten the front leg forward once your hips are up. Good. And then go back up high though. Kneel for a minute. Good. So kind of shimmy your hips back. There's a spot where the hips kind of get stuck. So shimmy back until you can sit directly on the foot. That's it. Yes. Got it. Good. And so if you took that forward split, take this piston with us. So sitting on the back foot. Good. What we're gonna do from here is take a nice hip stretch. So the straight leg bends again, swivel. This creates like a knee stack, one knee over the other knee. Then let's circle our hands around, clasping them either back for safety, and then just lean forward. Another good inhale. Exhale, as you release, rise up for safety. Grab onto those same spots left and right. Use your arm strength to pull you up over your feet. And then we'll take a brief pigeon, release that forward. And then rock your weight onto that front hip to swivel legs back open to start. Good work. So let's take 3 more of those shoulder strength things. So arms are on the fabric, pushing out. Then leg strength squeezes us together. Once you've touched, swing wide and gradual journey, returning in, feel that resistance. Good, one more, squeeze. Beautiful. Once we're wide again, we're gonna do everything to the second side. So your back leg, bend that knee. Once we're kind of facing to the back wall, get your hands on that same grip we've taken multiple times. So one on the left, one on the right. Pick your hips up so that you can swivel the back leg all the way behind. Good. could take the king pigeon, the back bend. You could spray out the one shoulder. You could spray out both shoulders. It's up to you. You're kind of leaning the one shoulder into the fabric for that little massage. Just enjoy this spot. 2 more deep, full, slow breaths. For that second one, start to lift the torso up. We're trying to find the same grip as normal. One left, one right. Your hips go over the back knee. The front leg straightens out. So here you can just choose the splits. Just wait, it starts to go forward. If you're going to the piston, try to shimmy your hips backwards until you can kneel on or kind of sit on that back foot. Once you're there, hands just slide forward, reach over the front straight leg. Okay, let's go into the knee stack. So sitting back up, this knee, the leg that's straight, that one bends just in the same direction it did for the pigeon. Hold shoulders free out the front, circle around, clasp wrists from behind. Leaning forward gets us into the hips. Take one more good inhale. Exhale when we release, rise back up and in. Grab onto the fabric. Hips rise up for a moment. The leg is still swiveled in that front one. So take a brief pigeon, just shifting hips back forward. Maybe take a good breath in, out, and then swivel both legs nice and open. Do a little resting pose, both feet touch together. Little cocoon position. Rest the forehead forward or back head backwards. For me, this is one of those poses that's so fun, probably because I'm a little introverted. So just let yourself just rest, being right here. Completely surrounded, completely protected. We're a little spring speed. Beautiful. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to leave this one. So know that if you ever want to take this instead of Shavasana, you always could. That's never going to be a problem for me. But we'll gradually start to work out of this one for now. So let's take both of our legs out of each side. We're dangling back down by the knees. Then we're going to reverse our way to get out. So bunch up the fabric, lock the arms straight to create some space. Then your leg is toward the back wall, swing it up and over, we face toward the mirror. You need to shift hips left and right a little bit, that's great. And let's take another inversion here. So this inversion is our vampire. This is the one where we take one thin layer of fabric over the shoulders. I like to use my hand to get just the right amount to completely cover like a cap sleeve. I don't like to have too much extra, otherwise it bunches in my neck. So then I'm using my elbows to gather all the excess to my waist, and I lay it all the way back. My feet are gonna help me shift the extra fabric to my leg direction. So step the feet in, lift up the hips, and then straighten the legs out, all that excess shifted down. So sometimes you have to do that 2 or 3 times to get all the extra down. But when you're there, you've got that perfect amount still over your shoulders so that you're covered, you're safe. One hand grabs left, one hand grabs right up high. Feet come up. Push the feet out into the fabric that you just gripped up, and then rise up. Good. Same rule for inversions as normal. Stay as long as it feels good. Don't flip into competition with anybody else. So just listening to your body, receiving the benefits that your body wants to receive. Same as before, if anybody comes out before others, you can take some of those initial stretches we did. Those shoulders have a nice chance just to kind of let gravity help them out. So we've got the majority heading out, some just fresh out. So don't feel any rush to sit up. Sitting up is kind of your way to indicate to me that you're feeling pretty good. You might be about ready to move on. So those that are sitting up that have been out for a little while, I'm gonna guide you into a nice little neck stretch, but don't feel rushed to get here. If you literally, your head just needs some more time. So if you're ready for a little neck stretch, just take the hands to clasp behind your back and shift the hands over to the right hip or all the way to the right waist. Once you've got the hands there, let the right ear drop to right shoulder. Yeah, that'll ease some nice tension right out of that spot. Good. Head floats back up. Let's switch out the hands. So either left hip or left waist. Then the left ear goes over left shoulder. Good. Head back up. Release the hands. Assuming that you feel good to come up to stand, great. If you need to rest a bit longer, that's always fine. Come up, grip onto the fabric, lift your hips right up and out. Let's leave the fabric here for a moment. What we're gonna do is swing our hips around the world, like our hips are the big equator. So if you know that you like to do this fast, that's okay. Otherwise, I'll guide you through 2 slow circles to each direction. So fabric over the shoulders, circle the hands above the head and around. I like to go one more time before I grip up. Good. So from here, start to lean the weight back, especially hips just kind of drop to pull the spine. And start to let the hips circle over to front door. Again, if you want to go faster than me, that's okay. So that long pause for a moment. If you swung going on your own and you didn't intend to, maybe step the feet a bit wider. Eventually start to circle forward, a little back bend. Opposite side. Try with your feet right under foam line. That'll help you. There you go. Good. And then back. Let's take one. If you're at my pace, and again, it's okay to not, but let's take one more to front arch. Arch. Around. And back. Let's do a little finger break. If you're ready, let the fingers wiggle out. And if your fingers need a break a little bit longer, take it. If you're ready for trying to do the other direction, or faster is fine too. Let's take that. So hip stand. Circle the back door. And forward. Front door. And back eventually. One more slow circle if your hands are still okay. I love it because it also kind of massages through the foot, kind of working all those little squares of it. Good. When we come out, free your hands, shake the hands for a moment. Even let yourself clasp your hands right above the head. Flip the hands up, keep the elbows bent, and then we're gonna pull the hands backwards until you feel a little bit of a shoulder stretch. Keep the rib cage kind of zipped up so the core is tight right there. Good. As you release, let your fingers do some nice little circles, open, close. Awesome. A moment for the core. You're going to slide your elbows into kind of the center of the fabric on each side. Elbows go more or less to the center, and then the hands, it doesn't have to be an intense grip, just kind of, their hands are just there to keep it kind of gathered up. Slide your elbows all the way into the waist. Keep the shoulders pushed down away from ears as we start to bend the knees. And the elbows will kind of take over our weight. So there's 2 options. You can either work on leg strength just by lifting one leg at a time a couple of times, then the other, or the hard version is the knees floating underneath us. Do a whole crunch to bring it up. And exhale. Yeah. Even if you take breaks, 2 or 3, take a break. You're still doing okay. Let's take another 5. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome work. When you drop down to knees, Slide the hands up for a moment and then catch your elbows behind the fabric. Good. Once you've got your elbows caught, we'll start to lean forward. The idea is that you're leaning forward until the shoulders are just kind of gently pulling back and squeezing behind you. Sometimes there's people who need a lot more for their shoulders, so then you can kind of bring your hips forward like a plank. But it's up to you, and especially the skin of that inner elbow area. And that's the limiting factor, so don't feel like you have to force it too much. If you prefer, you could even try to just reach up and grab each side and go back forward. Sometimes that's nice once the elbows have kind of given up. When enjoying these types of stretches, even kind of sitting back like child's pose, letting those arms get pulled away from you. Any of these things that just feel good until you're ready to drop down any version of child's pose, arms forward or arms backward. Let's just enjoy 3 or 4 more good deep breaths. Good. So if you feel ready, let's work our way up to a standing position. Right ankle in. Take a moment to stretch this part out. So you can either slide hands down, you could slide hands up and take a split. There's even an option where you could hop yourself forward. That will lift up the leg. Know that if you do that though, watch your balance, because if you're gonna start falling out of this one, grip high. This one does throw you off of that plumb line balance point. So up to you. Good. If you went forward at all, you want to go back under plumb line. Grab onto both. The right hand sliding down, the left hand sliding up. This will open up side ribs, kind of like a good triangle pose. If anybody also wants to take a nice little slip to the side, that's fine. Good. Squeezing our thighs together. This left hand is going to stay. The right hand releases, and then start to bend this right leg behind you. Once it's behind, then right hand grips on. So it's like a little cross that's really low. Good. So quad stretch for a moment. Just an easy grip, and then lean your weight backwards. Just by leaning back, that right thigh should get a really good stretch. If you don't feel it, point the knee down even more. Good. Yep. Good old quad. So sometimes this is about all that we need to do here. Just stay in the quad stretch. If anybody wants to, there is a backward splits option here. So you'll start with your weight back over the standing leg, slide the hands up, and then you try to straighten the legs back, even sinking your weight back. It is a big back bend for this one. Good. So taking another inhale and exhale. Bring your weight back over standing leg. You can either bend the knee to swing it back forward or try to keep it straight the whole time. You just kind of pick that femur up, swing it around. Good. You can either just step this foot out, step the other foot in, or swinging switch. See, we got it. Good work. Okay, so when we're back by the ankle, your choice of the stretch. That's okay, that's okay. You'll get it, you'll get it. So same options, maybe slide down, maybe slide up to be split. Maybe you're doing those couple of hops forward. Watching your balance, grip high if you start to fall out. Amazing. Take one more good breath in. Out. Okay, let's start to play with that place where we need to stand. So hopping back. Just try it out. When you open up the leg, if it doesn't want to stay, try hopping forward or backward until you find that perfect spot that's not too much, not too little. Once you find that good spot, both hands trip up both strands. The right hand up, the left hand down. You can either stay here or continue to sink more weight to the side. Good catch. Another inhale, exhale, and start to return. Right hand grabs the lower one, then the knee to bring it behind, and then left hand grabs the other. Should have a cross that's low. Okay, so quad stretch, lean backwards. That knee is pointing down. Some of us may just want to stay here, just enjoy this spot. That's okay. Some of us may want to try that split again. So hands slide up, straighten the leg back, and sink weight back. Good. Another inhale, exhale. And bring your weight over your standing leg. You have that same option. Maybe you try to stay straight the whole time, swinging around, maybe not. It ends up in front of us. Maybe just for funsies, let's do another little swinging switch if you want. You can always kind of hold in the pike for a moment, build up your finger strength. Coming down when you're ready. Good. And we'll take an inversion here. Straddle back. If you guys prefer a different inversion, your body like you're familiar with it and your body knows it, that's fine as well. But if you're doing the straddle back, take the fabric across sacrum. It's my palms that can keep it locked in place right there. One foot slightly forward, one foot slightly back. Bending the knees. This leads us back. I like to try to not swing, so I toe forward until I'm back on their palm line, and then all at the same time, knees wide. Grab the feet. Release the hands. Good. Beautiful. There is one variation we can all play with together here, unless you don't want to. That's the chandelier variation. After that, if you still want to play around, that's great. With the chandelier, your right leg straightens. And then rotate that right leg in its socket until you're pointing the leg to the mirror, so that space behind. So all the way pointing to me. Once you've got it pointing to me, bend the knee. Maybe right hand grabs the foot, maybe left hand too. Sometimes it's not possible to do both. Good. You're ready to switch. Your right leg will swing back around to rest. Then left will do the same thing. I like to straighten to the side and then rotate all the way behind. When I bend the knee, grab on with one or both hands. That's okay, that's okay. Good recovery. Good. Those that are in the one chandelier, if you want to start wrapping again, that's fine. You did awesome. If you know other variations, beautiful. Just kind of enjoy the inversions as long as you need. I think it just kind of slid right past that sacrum. I'm going to give you lots of time to be here, so don't feel rushed out at all. Those that are coming out, if you want a little neck stretch, there's a fun one where you can just sit on your feet, place your head in the fabric, and just lean backwards, and it kind of just pulls your neck up and down. You can play with being slightly forward, slightly backwards, just find that perfect spot. Yep, sometimes it's nice to do other little stretches on the ground, wrist stretches, leg stretches. Just give your body time, and those that are upside down, just keep on enjoying it, but no rush at all. This next minute or two is kind of like our journey to Shavasana. So literally you can just use your time to hang. You could use your time to just add any last fun little stretches that your body needs before the end. Just kind of take this time to be with your body, listen, have fun. So happy for this time that we have to get to be here. With our bodies, be with one another. So much awesome energy going on in this room. Welcome to stay with any recovery, any stretches, just enjoy it. If at any point you're ready for Shavasana, feel free to head on into it. You can always take a grounded Shavasana too. If you're like, okay, today's the day that protecting connection with the earth is good, that's always fine as well. All of it's up to you. It's kind of our fun little journey to the end. here we're going to begin our slow journey out. Might just start off with a couple of really good deep breaths. We begin to introduce little movements to the fingers and toes. Maybe good stretches. Each of us are in slightly different shapes, so take the next full minute or so just to keep on waking up the body. About a minute or two, we'll come to seated facing forward, but no rush. Just keep on waking up the body, keep on stretching. Anything that kind of helps you feel more present, more connected, more aware. Take your time being here, being present, being playful. Still no rush, but as we start to come to that peaceful, kind of awake state, we'll eventually start to bring our hands together in front of the heart. We take a moment to reconnect to our body, to how it felt today to be playful, to be like a little kid again, to make sure to include fun. If you're like me, sometimes I even have to literally put on my to-do list something like, go have this kind of fun. And so that you include that as one of your important things for the day. Because in the end, all we have is now. So without fun, life becomes really dreary. So with playfulness to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale out. Be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.